Let's go through a bunch of retirement scenarios in canwi. All of these characters are fictional, and this is not financial advice, but this is how you could go through setting up retirement planning or walk through some of the scenarios. Say we have Dazza and Shazza. Dazza is 50, they have 2 kids, Crystal and Jaden, and they're looking to scope out their retirement, what that might look like and how much they can spend. They have the goal of wanting to help their 2 kids with home deposits before they maximise their retirement lifestyle. I've got them set up with Daz is on 110k salary, Shaz is on an 80k salary. They have some savings, some offset. They currently have a mortgage. They have some superannuation across their 2 funds. And they're also trying to focus on paying down that mortgage. So their initial cash flow is to pay off the offset. And once that's done, all spare cash to go into savings so that they can help their kids in a few years. I've got that set up in their plan. They will be debt-free in a few years' time. They'll close out the home loan and then move any of the offset outstanding into the savings account. Then they're able to give Jaden a 200k deposit to help with a home deposit, because hopefully Jaden will have turned 25 by that point. I think Jaden turns 21 in 2029. So yes, I've scheduled the deposits to help out the kids when they're about 26 each. Hopefully then Jaden moves out and the household expenses reduce. Similar thing with house deposit for Crystal and readjusting the expenses when Crystal moves out. Once Crystal's moved out, Daz is about 60, hopefully. Then they start adding extra into their super, maxing the concessional contributions that are expiring for that year. And they're going to do that for the next 6 years. Shaz is also going to do the same thing, and she's going to do that until 2045. And you can move these around and whatnot. They're also going to downsize. They're finally going to sell their house. Now that the 2 kids have left the nest, it's too big for them, so they're going to downsize and buy a nice apartment. Then, in a few years' time, they're both planning on going part-time, reducing their work hours, and hopefully enjoying their retirement. So any spare cash now is now spent on enjoying retirement rather than saving for the future. And then the drawdowns, they fully retire at 67, which is the pension age. They won't be applicable for any pensions for that year. But the pension should be starting to kick in when Dazza is, if Dazza lives until the age of 86, that's when the pension will start kicking in for both of them. So you can see how the partial pension can kick in at a later date. They can also model things like reducing expenses with age as they decide to settle down a little bit more and are unable to go on as many holidays as they would like. So that's a partial pension. How about a full pension scenario? Say we have Debbie here. Debbie is currently renting. She was a stay-at-home mum for a good chunk of her life and has just gone through a bit of a divorce. So is back in the rental market and doesn't have a huge amount of assets to her name. She got a bit of super from the divorce proceedings, has about $10,000 in a savings account, and is trying to plan her retirement as well. She earns about 80k working as an assistant in the city. With her plan, we've got the retire event, but we have the age pension kicking in as soon as she's eligible for that. So when she gets to 67, she'll have hopefully 100K in her pension, and her cash account will be about 140K. So with the income stream, you should be able to see, at least on the government benefits breakdown, what the assets under test could be and what the pension under income test would be and which one would win in the situation. You can also hover over all of these calculations and get a really good breakdown of how everything's calculated. When it comes to retirement planning as well, there's also a new feature that's been added for drawing down particular assets. In this scenario, I have Raj, who's also 50, owns his house outright, and is looking to maximize his lifestyle in retirement. He has an investment portfolio, about 125 K in a broad-based index fund, and is planning to maximize that in the short term with money flows scenarios. So is popping all spare cash into that index fund. Anything above that is going into savings, but is also going to use that shortfall from that index fund to fund early retirement lifestyle. And so what does that look in the plan builder? There's the maximizing super earlier on. There's changing cash flow priorities to just use spend the rest as well. Change expenses so that Raj can enjoy more holidays. And here you can see that, for example, in this first year, there is a sale of part of that portfolio that where are they? So Raj would have had to sell some of his ETF portfolio to help fund about 40K of expenses from that year. One of the cool features we've also added recently is you can now project what the CGT changes might be for your retirement planning. So say Raj here wants to do a comparison of what the new CGT changes might be. This one is the exact same scenario. It's just in the scenario settings, I've enabled the inflation adjusted CGT changes as they are proposed today, and the negative gearing reforms and the tax offsets. So when we go to the plan builder now, and we scope out, we actually see that Raj has a chance of running out of money later on in his retirement. All Raj would have to do in this situation is move his change expenses, and now the rest of his retirement. So the CGT impacts on Raj's portfolio means that he might have to reduce his expenses a year earlier at age 79 versus 80.